Hey, box office buddies, you know how it works. New movie, new buddy. I'm here with my dad. This is a first. He's a really big World War II buff, but you like other war stuff too. Yeah, so we checked out 1917. I'm kind of upset that it took so long for it to get to a wide release and for me to be able to see this. A lot of people have already. But we're here now. We're talking about it, and yeah, what did you think of this?
Yeah, great to be with you, Matt. And I'd say right off the bat, really great movie. Really worth seeing to go to the theater to see it, so you're not watching on a little screen. The whole effect of this type of movie with the visuals and the sound is, definitely better in a cinema experience. So great movie. I'm a little surprised that it won the Golden Globe for Best Picture.
Okay.
Great movie. Is it the best movie of the year? I haven't seen a lot of movies, but I don't think I'd put it in the top movie of the year. But a very good movie that I enjoyed a lot.
Okay, that's interesting. Is it the best? That can be debated. There were some good movies this year for sure. I definitely think this was the most impressive movie I've seen this year, though. So just to give you a little bit of background on this movie, called 1917. It takes place in 1917, World War I. We see trench warfare, and these two soldiers are given a mission to cross into enemy territory and give a message to stop an Allied attack on the Germans, which they have found out is going to be a trap. It's going to be a massacre. Everyone's going to die. The movie is made to look like one continuous shot. So we see them from the moment they leave their location, and we see their entire trip to their destination. Whether they make it or not, I won't say, but we see that whole trip in real time, basically. So unbelievable the amount of work that went into this. You said you're not sure if it's the best movie. I am convinced it's the best directing job I've seen this year. I can't imagine the amount of work that goes into even something like makeup, the attention to detail you need to have to make sure that things are consistent.
Apparently when Mendes told his main, I think it was the cinematographer, right?
Director of photography.
The guy was floored because this is the project, this is the script. We're doing this in one continuous shot. Like, come on. Like, how can you do that?
I can't imagine.
Yeah, and even as they were shooting the scenes, they had to make sure that the weather was the exact same.
The set design is unbelievable nowadays. With Marvel and Star Wars, everything's just put in with a computer. This is actually real sets. I can't imagine the amount of work and planning they had to do to make sure that everything lined up perfectly. This isn't the first time that there's been a continuous shot movie. Birdman, which won the Oscar for Best Picture for the 2014 year. Also very good, but I think this one it takes a step higher because it's an action movie. So I was actually very impressed by the cinematic feat that this was.
Yeah, it was definitely an exploit because it's basically the impression is you're looking through one camera lens the whole time. So this type of movie could benefit, or this subject matter could benefit from multiple shots, multiple angles, editing, cutting away from one area to another, seeing what's happening in headquarters compared to what's happening in the trenches, and that type of back and forth. So it doesn't have that, but it does have this other impact of you being right with these two guys the whole way, and everything that they face. And so it was very impressive exploit directorially for sure.
One thing I think for sure that the being with the characters themselves the whole time adds to the movie, and why I appreciated not having cuts and everything is I felt so much tension. You feel like you're like a third character in this movie almost. It's really cool, and I really well written, I thought, too. Just everything worked well together. But yeah, you were saying not necessarily the best movie you've seen this year. What would you have wanted more out of it?
Not what I would have wanted more. It's just it's a different, like, compared to, for example, Joker. It's obviously a totally different genre. And so it comes down to, what do you think was the better performance?
Another impressive thing with this kind of movie is the acting. Like, it's not, you mentioned Joker. This isn't a Joaquin Phoenix performance where, you're just blown away by how someone embodies a character. But this is basically a play. Like, they have to remember everything, not only their lines, but they have to navigate this whole set and get all the beats right. And I was so impressed, even with the acting and the line producer, like all the things that had to be worked out in this. It's crazy.
Yeah, because you see the characters running full speed, and the camera's in front of them, and they're running full speed, and the camera will pan around, and everything that they do, it's like that one camera that's following the whole time, and you're either in front of them, beside them, behind them, and the way they manipulate the scenes so that the camera passes from directly in front to a shot from behind, without any editing or cutting or whatever, it really is impressive. And one of the things I enjoyed, as you were saying, the tension. Of course, as a war movie, a lot of war movies try and portray the horrors of war. And this did. It wasn't over the top in that, but that you did feel a lot of that tension. It doesn't center on warfare in the trenches, but you get a good idea of what it's like for those guys in the trenches. Mm-hmm. It doesn't major on battles up on the battlefield, but you got the idea of what it was like. So they brought in a lot of elements that way. Mm-hmm. And, just even, for example, soldiers going up into the battle and what it was like for them in those days, the war to end all wars, where you had, 10 million soldiers that died in that war. And with the archaic strategy they were still using at that time, it was just send over another wave, here's another 1,000 guys, here's another, 10,000, and it was just basically sending people out to slaughter. And you got that feel, and that was part of the tension. So I appreciated that about it. It wasn't about that, but you felt that.
Yeah, I was thinking that throughout the whole movie, that like it's just crazy to think like it does make you use your imagination to kind of see what it would have been like for certain aspects of it. But I mean, I just think that trench warfare is insane, and to me it's like the worst war strategy, only second to like the Revolutionary War type, where they just line up and shoot each other. It just I don't understand how that was the best they could come up with.
Yeah.
But it's crazy the amount of death there would have been.
Yeah, and one of my first thoughts when I saw the movie, it takes place, the event is supposed to take place on April the 6th, 1917, based on a true story or a true
definitely true events.
Yeah. By the director's grandfather, right? Mm-hmm. Who?
This is Sam Mendes, the director. Excellent job.
Yeah, and so, when that went up on the screen right at the beginning of April 6, 1917, you realize, okay, so we still have 18 more months of this going on.
The movie isn't actually one shot. There are cuts. They're just done at strategic moments, as with Birdman. But apparently the longest continuous shot in the movie is 9 minutes long, which is still unbelievable. And yeah, you mentioned cinematography. I think, I don't know if this will win Best Picture at the Oscars, but I think this will win Best Director. I personally think it should win Best Set Design. I'm not sure. Best Cinematography. And there's this one shot at the end. It's, I think, the most epic shot I've seen all year in a movie, where he's running along the battlefield and the other soldiers are running the other way. That was so cool.
That was really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Just every. I thought they hit every mark on this. I think this was a great movie.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful cinematic experience, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, Marvel to Matrix, so you guys know how it is. Marvel's Marvel. Matrix, top tier. So scale of Marvel and Matrix.
I'll go with the easy one. I'd have to put it. What it makes me think of is Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
So obviously, tone down the graphic, bloody, gory kind of type of scenes, but for the
not
tension,
as epic in the sense of
right, yeah,
war scenes,
right, totally different style. But for the feel of it, what it made me feel, and just the beauty of a great picture, that's what I would call it.
Okay. I want to give this a war movie as well. I'm going to go with Hacksaw Ridge, which maybe not quite as good as this, but I still thought was an excellent movie.
Yeah.
And I had that same feeling watching Hacksaw Ridge as I did this, where it's just an admiration for like valor and bravery. You just see these characters who do these amazing things, and they're really well-made war movies. And so if you haven't seen Hacksaw Ridge either, or Saving Private Ryan, those are definitely worth checking out too. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for checking out the movie.
Good to be with you.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment, and share the video. And I'll be seeing you soon. Next videos are going to be some fun little countdowns, so stay tuned for that.